Oil.
Honourable Senators, I rise today on the unceded lands of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation to speak very briefly to Bill C-202, an act to amend the Department of Foreign Affairs Trade and Development Act, Supply Management. I will draw largely on my report stage speech on Bill C-282, the identical bill from the 44th Parliament. As my colleague Senatrice Gerba did before me, I want to put some of the work of our Foreign Affairs Committee on the record today, as we won't have a chance to be reviewing this bill. Today, as we consider the Private Member's Bill C-202, we do so with respect for Canada's supply-managed sectors. These farmers are our neighbours, and they provide us with dependable, good-quality food. We also do so with respect and consideration for other agricultural sectors, and with respect and consideration for Canada's non-agricultural businesses. Colleagues, our Foreign Affairs and International Trade Committee studied Bill C-202's predecessor, Bill C-282, with rigor, with balance, and independence. We looked at the potential impact of this bill on multiple sectors of our economy and on Canada's overall prosperity, as well as the long-term implications of the bill for our international trade policies and negotiation practices. Our Foreign Affairs and International Trade Committee held 9 committee meetings and heard testimony from 52 witnesses from a broad range of voices: former trade negotiators, trade experts, departmental officials, and representatives from both supply-managed and non-supply-managed agricultural sectors. We found that while the bill may have the intention of bringing stability and the desired certainty to supply-managed sectors, it comes with real risks to Canada's negotiating power, to our economy, and it exacerbates the already growing uncertainty in our other industries, agricultural and non-agricultural. And that's still there. During our study, Jonathan Freed, Canada's former ambassador to the World Trade Organization, described the bill as a legislative straitjacket, warning that such a rigid legislative mandate would limit Canada's strategic options by ruling out certain discussions before negotiations even began. We just heard Senator Simons refer to the Trump effect, the Trump tariff threat, to the issues of U.S. food safety, and the potential impact of this bill on Alberta farmers. Our committee heard testimony from other sectors, and we received a letter on October 31st, 2024, from which I will quote just a couple of small excerpts. And I quote from this letter, and I'll tell you who it's from in a minute. If enacted in its unamended state, the previous identical bill, C-282, would legislatively handcuff Canada and its trade negotiators. We ask senators to put the collective interests of all Canadian industries first by rejecting Bill C-282 and to protect our future economic prosperity. And this letter was signed by, yes, you're going to hear the list, Alberta Beef Producers, Alberta Canola Producers Commission, Alberta Cattle Feeders Association, Alberta Chambers of Commerce, Alberta Grains, Alberta Pulse Growers, BC Association of Cattle Feeders, BC Grain Producers Association, Beef Farmers of Ontario, BC Cattlemen's Association, Canadian Agri-Food Trade Alliance, Canadian Canola Growers Association, Canadian Cattle Association, Canadian Oilseed Processors Association, Canadian Pork Council, Canadian Sugar Institute, Canola Council of Canada, Cereals Canada, CropLife Canada, Fertilizer Canada, Grain Farmers of Ontario, Grain Farmers of Canada, Greater Vancouver Board of Trade, Pulse Canada, Manitoba Beef Producers, Manitoba Canola Growers, Manitoba Crop Alliance, Manitoba Pulse and Soybean Growers, National Cattle Feeders Association, New Brunswick Cattle Producers, Nova Scotia Cattle Producers, Ontario Bean Growers, Ontario Greenhouse Vegetable Growers, Prairie Oak Growers Association, Prince Edward Island Cattle Producers, Saskatchewan Cattlemen's Association, Saskatchewan Heavy Construction Association, Saskatchewan Pulse Growers, Saskatchewan Trucking Associations, Sask Oilseeds, Sask Wheat, Soy Canada, Wheat Growers Association. That letter was from all of those. Former Deputy Prime Minister and former Minister of Foreign Affairs John Manley, along with other witnesses, intimated to our committee that the bill is like putting a bullseye on the supply-managed sectors, or waving a red flag, signaling to our trading counterparts that this is where Canada is sensitive, and perhaps inadvertently bringing them into the spotlight during negotiations. In light of these risks, our committee proposed and passed an amendment to the bill, and I'm not going to get into the details of that, as that is no longer relevant at this time. The Senate's work on this bill was not completed, as you heard from Senatrice Gerba, due to prorogation. Colleagues, I want to underline really sincerely that the Senate Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs and International Trade conducted its review of this previous bill in a very fair, respectful, thorough, intelligent, independent, and even-handed way. Colleagues, for those of you who are interested, I encourage you to review the committee's transcripts and the Senate debates on Bill C-282 in the Hansard. We all realize that the Liberal Party promised to protect the supply-managed sector in its electoral platform. Private Member's Bill C-202 is a reflection of this. The bill was passed unanimously in the other place, and the Senate will no doubt defer to the elected House. Colleagues, I just want to thank you sincerely for allowing me to put some of our Foreign Affairs Committee's related and relevant past work on this important matter of trade negotiations on the Senate record. Walalio, thank you, merci.